Oh boy, sorry. Hi everyone, Jonas and Pierre, the Beer TV Ramble looks at Carlsberg Elephants. Better yet, sure, or there. There you go. 7.2% ABV by volume. Carlsberg, of course, a Euro style lager. Um, Beer's been around for some time now. Just did a review with the guys a couple days ago with this beer on the with Ronald J. Terrio and Thomas Metal, Eric, as well as Eric Anderson and John Sharon, aka Zone Beer One. We just did a review. We did a review a few days ago of this beer. Drinking this beer, if you look at the lacing of the beer right here, very full body, very creamy, very much nice little texture right here. You know, um, not bad. It has a sort of nice little pungent taste, pungent scent to it. You know, very earthy, very grassy sort of taste. 7.2%, not bad. Hmm. You know, one thing I've always said about these European lagers, and I know I've beaten this thing down like to a drum so many times. These beers, the way they prepared, has a really nice um, something about them. Man, 7.2%. It's a lot strong. But even the other ones, like the regular Carlsberg, the Pilsner Urquell, even Heineken, the beers tend to, for whatever the reason, seem to get, a nice little feel to it. But, it's just like it seems like it has a lot more kick, a lot more body to it. Um, and I've always enjoyed them. Um, I think that they're very well made and very, very well done. The company, of course, is based in Denmark. Excuse me. The Carlsberg Group was founded in 1847. Of course, the original Carlsberg. I think they are. If I'm wrong, I could be wrong. Forgive me. They do a lot of besides beers. They do a lot of other, soft drinks, bottled water, and different things. Um, if you have the original Carlsberg, the flagship beer, uh, which started has been around going back to 1904. Lager or pilsner, people call it. Um, Looking at the elephant, looks like it came about, and the elephant beer, some would say, I guess came about the same time as the original, or close to it, about in 1955. So this beer has a lot of history, but a lot of these beers were like overseas, so you really couldn't really get them here. I was interested in reading a story about all the presidents. Not to get off topic, about all the beers that they had when they came on. The beers or different alcohol beverages that they like to consume and drink. You had some that were anti-alcohol, like recently with President Bush, 43. He cut back his drinking. He would mostly drink like these non-alcoholic beers. Like less than 5%, maybe 1% alcohol by volume. Um, you have others. Of course, our current president, President Obama, he likes porters and he likes lagers. Um, Going back to President, from our founding fathers, President Washington, everyone else loved beer. Some prefer, you know, dry whiskey or dry gin or whatever, wines or different styles. Um, um, but we read about President Kennedy that at the time he had a beer that was kind of unknown that was shipped to the White House that he really loved a lot, and that beer was Heineken. which at that time was not really sold in the United States until probably maybe later on in the 60s, and of course became kind of synonymous and well known throughout here in the States. Um, so Carlsberg is one of those style of beers that has been around like forever. People love them. People sample them, try them out from time to time. Really gives it a lot of flavor, really a lot of good taste too. So, 7%. We were discussing it and thinking that might could go as a malt liquor, and because of 7.2%, it does have that earthiness, very like fresh new grass taste. Sort of herbal, but the malts are also there. And the only thing we know about high gravity beers, also a lot of carbonation in this beer, but also we know about the high gravity beers. There's a lot of malt, a lot of maltiness to it, and sugary, sweet, and a lot of the malt liquors or the high gravity lagers tend to have that kind of taste or similar as a very strong, powerful malt. Um, where it's the alcohol level is kind of raised up a little bit. 7.2%. It's close to being a high gravity. So, food pairings with this. It says like Indian cuisine, maybe mussels and fish, strong scented cheese like blue cheese, pepper jack, maybe some Gouda, really strong, pungent, will go well with this beer, and which would be a great pairing for it to balance it out. I had this earlier with a turkey salad sandwich, and I really enjoyed it. I thought that the flavors really kind of went well with it. Poultry, So, and I thought it was you know something that could just be really go well with it. Um, it says a lager, but I think it's more of a real strong lager to me. You know, I think it's just it can go just about anything. I think it could probably has in a class by itself. I think so. It 7%. It has that barbecue, Indian cuisine, Latin American. Like I said, mussels, something like that. Um, game. You can say meats, whatever. But when I had it with the turkey salad, and I did have some cheese on that sandwich, I thought it was excellent. So it gets a very good score. This beer on Beer Advocate. It gets surprisingly not a very good score on Beer Advocate or the Bros. They think it's poor or awful, but I think it's really good. To me, I think it's an excellent beer. I would buy this again. I think I prefer this, and I've had the original Carlsberg, but I think I would probably get this more over the Carlsberg. And in my area, we don't. It doesn't. Is not sold. Maybe in limited basis. I only found this in one supermarket, and that's the Rouse's across the bay in Mobile, Alabama. And I was not really all too keen about that. And I was in Spanish Fort, Alabama, excuse me, and at the Rouse's, and I saw that there, and I said, I gotta get that, and it was a 6 pack. I wish I could got the singles, but unfortunately, they don't do singles. They didn't have the singles of this beer, so I wasn't able to get it, but I did get the Carlsberg, and I said, all right, cool, no problem. I need to go to New Orleans, man, and maybe or maybe visit my home state, and go to Georgia, someplace where they really accept different styles of beer. Maybe go down shopping in South Florida. I need to take a road trip, man. I really need to get out of town, take a good road trip and pick up some stuff. But Anyhow, this beer, I'm not going to go on and on. I think it's a very good beer. Excellent. I'm going to give this thing a solid 10 for me. Um, this is just quite good and very enjoyable, very pleasant to have. Perfect. Not to say perfect for this time of year, but more so for like for the winter. I mean, more so for like the spring, early summer when it's the temperature starting to rise just a little bit, and it's a late little evening beer to have. And like I said, if you're sitting outside and you're snacking on some cheese and crackers, strong cheese, or nibbling on something, this would be a good little brew to have. You know, I would love to get my lady to try this, but she'll probably say, "Ew, what's this?" Yes, she would say that. But anyhow, solid 10 for me. Anyhow, Jean and Pierre, Beer and TV Ramble. Leave your comments on the bottom on this beer. So keep watching, and as always, cheers.